Transportation in plants. Wow, it is important. And how this question is going to come in different way, how they're going to ask you multiple MC questions, as well as when they will talk about how plants are going to get the waters and minerals. Again, how different parts of the plants are going to get the food, which is prepared by the plant during the photosynthesis process. All this discussion we are going to see here with the help of how this xylem and phloem is the important that we are going to see. So in the previous lecture, we have discussion about the transportation in the human beings. Okay, so that you can see. Apart from this, we have seen that in case of fish, we have two chamber in the heart. In case of reptile, we have three chambers, and we human beings having four chambers. So if still you didn't subscribe our channel, please subscribe it, share, and like so that you get the all updated notification. So let's see with transportation in plants. So when we'll talk about how plants are going to make the food, so that what are things are required. So there we have seen that in case of photosynthesis, what we require, plant, how they're going to make the food. They required water, along with that minerals will be there, and CO2, and in the presence of sunlight, okay, and as well as what we have apart from the sunlight, here plant, that chlorophyll is there. Finally, they're going to make the food. Okay. So how they're going to get the waters from the roots, okay? Again, that prepared food, how it is going to reach the different parts of the plants. So here, in case of photosynthesis process, that energy is being stored, okay, in the leaves. And again, if you see that to complete this photosynthesis process, plants require water things, okay, so that required the water. So how they're going to get the water from the soil? Okay, so soil is the nearest and richest source for the raw materials, like such as we have nitrogen, phosphorus, and other materials. So plants क्या है, soil से connected. So soil के थ्रू ही plant क्या मिलेगा इसको, raw materials, nitrogen, phosphorus मिलेगा as well as water. So इसको water कैसे मिलता है, that we are going to see. How plants are going to absorb these things with the contact with the soil. So how plants are going to make the contact with soil? That is with the help of roots. Okay. And if you see that the distance between that is the roots and that plants having the chlorophyll, it is a small. Then these raw materials, whatever they are going to obtain through the root, easily it can diffuse in the all different parts of the plant. Like here, if you have a small roots are there, and this is the various branches of the plants. If these two are very close together, like we see that some teeny plants are there, so they're very close together. So finally, its raw materials easily can diffuse in the different parts. रॉ मटेरियल जो भी है क्या क्या है, नाइट्रोजन, फास्फोरस, इजीली क्या होगा, रूट के माध्यम से लीफ तक आसानी से पहुंच सकता है. लेकिन यदि बड़े बड़े ट्री, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू सी दैट बम्बू ट्री इज देयर, ओके, और मान लीजिए कोकोनट ट्री इज देयर, तो उसमें क्या है कि रूट्स कहाँ है और जहां पर उनका लीफ है उनके बीच में क्या है, एक बहुत ह्यूज डिफरेंस है. Then how this diffusion is going to takes place? So that diffusion process is not going to be the sufficient in this case. Okay, when distance become the large, then diffusion process is not sufficient. Then what will happen here? Okay, so we require the proper system of the transportation. Okay, in case of plant also. So now how that transportation is going to take place. So sometimes maybe question they will ask, how transportation in the plants takes place, and sometimes maybe what is the need of the transportation. That question also can be asked. So again, that energy needs are different for different plants. Okay, so that absorption. So sometimes if you see that plant also having some dead cells, okay, in many tissues, so that portion require the low energy needs. So there will have slow transport. When we have more dead cells, then slow transport. Okay, and again you that see that distance is going to make the major effect here. Okay, in compared to large plant, transportation will be little slow in compared to the small plant. Okay, so now finally, how it is going to reach from the roots to the leaves. So this can be seen in different way also, like organized in the conductive tubes. It can be independent. So how it is independent? So finally, what we have important thing is the xylem. So that xylems move the waters and minerals from the soil, and through this xylem is going to reach the different parts of the plants. Whereas in case of phloem, Phloem transport the whatever product is being produced during the photosynthesis process from the leaves is going to synthesize in the different part of the plant. So जाइलम का काम है वाटर एंड मिनरल्स को रूट से डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द प्लांट तक पहुंचाना जहां पर क्लोरोफिल है ताकि फोटोसिंथेसिस प्रोसेस हो सके. And phloem ka kaam here, food. How you'll remember? This is xylem, phloem, just like a food. So similar kind of pronunciation you can see. Phloem, phloem. So something like food. So or just like if pH is photosynthesis. So this when food is prepared during the photosynthesis, so from there, with the help of phloem, it is going to distribute it in different part of the plants. So there should not be confusion in the xylem and phloem. Xylem is for the water and minerals, phloem is for the transportation of the food. So now one by one we are going to see here. First we have transport of the water. So here if you see that in case of xylem tissues, it has vessels and trichets of the roots, stems, leaves are interconnected to form the continuous system of the conducting the waters. So already having continuous system is available, but how that system is going to work. Okay, so finally that we are going to see from here. So at the roots, cells is going to be in contact with the soil. So finally, with the soil, it will take up the ions. So now ions formation takes place. It's going to take the ions. So finally, due to this, what will happen? There is the difference in the concentration of these ions between root and the soil. Since root is going to absorb some ions, so that difference takes place. So when we you study that whenever potential difference takes place, that flow of current takes place. So in the similar way, here now concentration is going to change in the soil as well as in the root. So due to that, water is going to move from the into the root from the soil, so that this difference will be overcome. Okay, so due to this only flow of water takes place from the soil to roots. So there is the steady movement of water into the root through the xylem. Okay, and we have column of the waters that is going to be pushed upwards. So how it is going to pass again? If you think about any other strategies available, okay, how it is going to reach from the lower point to the upper point, even the peak of the plants when you have very large trees available. तो यहाँ पर क्या हुआ? Ion का formation हुआ. That ion is being absorbed by the roots. So that is the difference in the concentration. of the ions between soil and root में difference आया. So to cancel that difference, क्या हुआ, पानी और this whatever minerals we have, it is going to move towards the root. So sufficient amount of the water is going to pass, and again plants are also going to lose some water, like we have seen the plants are also having pores, so that pores it is going to lose the waters, so they're having stomata, so that stomata is going to lose the water. And already we have seen that how this opening and closing of the stomata is being controlled by the guard cells. Okay, so that process is what? Evaporation of the waters from the different part of the leaves, okay, which was sucked by the root to the different parts with the help of xylem cells. So that water is being evaporated. So how much pores will be open, stomata will be open, water is going to evaporate. So that evaporation depends upon the surface. If you have more surface, loss of water will be more. So this loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plants. Aerial parts is like a stomata is known as transpiration. Transpiration. Okay. So we are reading the transportation, but new term came transpiration. Transpiration क्या है? जब प्लांट क्या करता है, वाटर को लॉस करता है, किस फॉर्म में? वेपर के फॉर्म में. So the aerial parts like we have mainly stomata, so that is going to lose the water. तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Transpiration. So now this transpiration, they're going to lose the water as well. It's going to help also in the absorption. And finally, due to that, there is the upward movement of the waters, and minerals which is dissolved in water is going to reach to the leaves from the roots. And due to that transpiration, what is another benefit? It has temperature regulation also, as well as what we have seen first. ये क्या हुआ? पानी और मिनरल्स रूट से लीफ तक पहुंच रहा है, और दूसरा क्या हुआ? टेम्परेचर रेगुलेशंस. So these two are the benefits of the transpiration. Okay. So now in the night time, what is happening here? The effect of root pressure in the transport of water is more important at the night time. During time में तो क्या हो रहा है? Stomata are open क्योंकि वहां पर exchange of gas हो रहा, carbon dioxide and oxygen. Okay. So finally, this transpiration pull becomes the major driving force for the movement of water in the xylem. तो दिन में क्या है? स्टोमेटा ओपन है, तो ज्यादा इवापोरेशन भी हो रहा है, वाटर बन के निकल रहा वेपर के फॉर्म में. सो ड्यू टू दैट चेंज, automatic there is the movement of more pool of water is being moved from the root to the different parts of the plant, especially to the leaf. Okay, where in the daytime. So daytime there is no problem, we have sufficient and in the daytime only plants are going to make the food also. Okay, so usually it's going to reach. So whatever water, suppose sometimes we are pouring the excess water also to the plant, it is being absorbed. Okay. Since in the daytime, water vapor, that is the transpiration process takes place. So here what we are seeing that this movement of the waters takes place from root to the stem. So here since there is the ions difference between the root and the soil. Due to that difference, as well as how it is coming up in the pressure, due to water is going to be loosed by the plant in the form of vapor. So that process is called as, what is the process? Transpiration. So due to this transpiration, automatic pressure is creating at the daytime. And finally, this is going to move with the help of Xylem cell. Okay, this part is clear. कोई दिक्कत, any doubt is there, means you can write in the comment box. Now we are going to see how foods are being distributed. Now just now we have seen how minerals and waters are being distributed with the help of xylem cell to the different parts of the plants. Okay, now अब क्या है? Food जो बना during the photosynthesis process, how it is going to be distributed in the different parts. क्योंकि like in human beings, nutrition क्या है? Each cell तक पहुंचना चाहिए. Similarly, in the plant also, it should reach. Okay. So now finally here, we have seen that phloem is going to play the more main role here. Okay. So the transport of soluble products of photosynthesis is called as translocation. Before this, we have seen transpiration. Now we have translocation. Translocation क्या हुआ? जो फूड बना उसको डिफरेंट पार्ट में पहुंचाना ही क्या कहलाता है? ट्रांसलोकेशन. So that is being done by the help of vascular tissues that we call as phloem. Okay. Transpiration was happening there, and xylem is going to play the role to transfer the water from the root to lips, and here phloem. It is the vascular tissue. And apart from this photosynthesis product, that phloem used to transport the amino acids and other substance also. Amino acids means nitrogen will be there. So these substances are delivered to the where storage organ of the roots and fruits and seeds and to growing organs. So this translocation of food and this substance, like we have seen amino acids, okay. So it's going to have a distribution in the different parts, and this amino acid is delivered to the organs of roots, fruits, and all these things. So these are the part here important. Okay. So finally, that seed tubes help to adjust the companion set both in upwards and downward direction both. Since from the leaf it will go in the different parts. So where was the through the xylem when transportation takes place? It was quite simple. It was moving upward movements and right. Okay. So finally, that materials like sucrose is being transferred into the phloem tissue using the energy from ATP. ATP we have seen earlier. Okay. So this is here we have triphosphates. So this increase the osmotic pressure of the tissue causing water to move into it. So that osmotic pressure is also going to play the role. So that pressure that moves the materials in the phloem to tissue which have less pressures. So due to this, phloems move materials according to the plant's needs. Like for example, we have springs, sugar stored in the root or stem tissue to be transmitted to the birds which need energy to grow. So like this, phloem is going to help to distribute or transport the foods which was made during the photosynthesis process. Apart from these aminic acids are being distributed here in the different parts of the plants. So these things we have seen where in the transportation where in plants. So important part is the transport of water where xylem is going to play the role. And second important part is the transport of food. So in case of transport of water, we have seen the process called as transpiration. Okay. So transpiration is what? The process when plant is going to lose their water with the help of vapor or in the form of vapor. Whereas translocation means different जगह पर locate कर रहा. So that food which was prepared during the photosynthesis. Okay. And apart from this phloem helps it for the transport of amino acid also. I hope you'll able to understand this. Once you see this, any doubt is there, write in the comment box. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.